Hey, it's Chris Bowling.
Hey, it's Chris Beyer.
How
What's
are
up?
you, man?
I'm good. I'm
Hey,
good.
we're getting ready for a nice long weekend, so I'm sure
Yes, we
you're as,
are.
as excited as myself.
Absolutely. So what are we talking about this week as we're going into the second half of 2022?
So this is actually a funny story. I had the pleasure of spending the weekend recently with my sister and brother-in-law. And my brother-in-law and sister were actually both in insurance for nearly 15 years of their career. And he happened to run across one of my old classmates in high school who's also in insurance. And he asked Joe, he's like, "Hey, how's Chris? And what does he do?" And Joe's like, which he's so gracious to watch us on LinkedIn. And he goes,
Thank you.
I think they sell like HR stuff. And he's telling us, I'm like, no, that's not what we do. So, so of course I brought up to you, I'm like, Chris, I really think we're confusing our audience of what we do. And, Assured Partners is, our agency that we work for. We are what, Chris, the 10th largest brokerage firm in the country.
Yes.
And yes, at a core, what we do is we are insurance brokers. And, you and I specialize in the health insurance industry.
Yes.
And yes, we place insurance. And yes, we quote insurance. And yes, we try to find what's the right funding strategy for the employer. We look for the right carrier. We shop reinsurance. We shop TPAs. We run RFPs.
Yeah.
But that's more of the tactical stuff. And I think you said it best. Well, that's like the entry level to get into this business, right?
Right.
Anyone can do that. But
the days of just, I look to my broker to find me the carrier, quote the right carriers before renewal, make sure that there's no issues with claims, answer a couple phone calls and emails. I mean, that's
and spreadsheet spreadsheet all the options, which okay, Excel.
Yeah. that is the entry stakes for being an employee benefit consultant or broker. And you're right, those are messages that we've shared, and the reason we're talking about everything but an insurance carrier or the quoting process is just like you said, that's the easy piece. We know it's going to happen every year. We know we're going to have to evaluate that. But where I think you and I are taking that step forward and have for many years is that we are looking at the entire structure of a benefit strategy. And we talk about what the CFO needs to run that benefit strategy correctly from the financial side. We talk about what the HR director needs so that we can support them as they're engaging with their employees. And we're also just talking about how do we help that employee be a better consumer of healthcare.
Yeah.
All of that together, I mean, there's probably 15 or 20 different categories that we engage an employer with that go well beyond just the placement of insurance and getting paid for placing insurance.
Yeah, I mean, we like to say that our goal is to make your business better, right? Is to help your business succeed. And part of that business, I think you and I just said this like 2 or 3 weeks ago when we were recording, is without employees, you don't need us. Right? But if you have but if you have employees, that's where we're trying to make your business better by looking at each position that's dealing with those employees or dealing with that healthcare or dealing with that budget and what all goes into that. And it's not spreadsheeting 12 different quotes. I mean, a 8th grader can do that.
It's probably better than us.
Yes, probably better than us. Amen. Well said.
So Chris, in 2022, I know that we are subject to new broker compensation disclosures.
Oh, yes.
That's a big topic that I think has gone under the radar. It was passed at the end of 2021 with the appropriations bill, but insurance brokers and consultants have to disclose to their clients and prospective clients how much we get paid.
It's about time. How many times have you and I met with a prospective client? They hire us and we're like, okay, well, what's your broker getting paid? I don't know.
Nobody knows.
How do you not know?
So yes, we can still get paid commissions from a carrier. We can get paid for employees that are enrolled. We can get paid in a consulting fee from the client. We can even get paid in bonuses from the client if we perform certain goals that they want to set out. And I share that because so many employers are only getting the insurance placement and frankly, that broker is getting paid a significant amount of money just to compare benefit program.
And they have
plan quotes.
Right. And they have no clue. I mean, you and I welcome this because we, probably what, Chris, probably 50% of our clients pay us a fee. So, they are sending us a check, either monthly, quarterly, whatever.
Right.
So, there is no hiding behind that. But this whole, Oz behind the curtain is finally done. And we welcome compensation disclosures. We need to earn what we're getting paid. And if you don't know what we're getting paid, well, then how can you justify what we're getting paid, right?
And I think our compliance department, which is another component of what we support our clients with, is helping them not make compliance missteps. But they have done such a good job of preparing us a disclosure statement that tells the method of compensation. And then before it's all said and done, the employer is signing off on these are the tools and services and strategies that we're getting for this revenue that we're paying. And that employer is signing off on that because it's part of their fiduciary duty, just like retirement plans have been
right.
long. So when we look at all the different categories that we could list, I mean, we could just, here's a whole list of tools and services. I'm not going there, but it's usually categories of compliance and, again, HR support for your brother-in-law. So we help our HR teams with some consulting there, but it's also employee communications and, helping with technology to make the process smoother and, identifying ways to help employees spend less when they go to the doctor. Right. So it's all of that together goes into the consulting side where it's more than just being the broker. And,
we don't normally have our entire team on these, but here for the people that are doing all those, highly important functions. I mean, we've got 7 or 8 people on our team that each person has their expertise. It's communication, data analytics. I mean, my goodness, we have 2 of the brightest people I've ever met. They're just doing nothing but crunching, taking those claims reports coming from the carrier that I say are completely useless because they don't tell you anything, but taking that data and determining what's happening. Where should you and I be helping that employer educate? We just met with an employer last month, which I think we mentioned 2 or 3 weeks ago. 26 ER visits in that quarter, 22, 23 of those non-emergent. It
was lack of access to primary care. There weren't doctors in that rural community that were taking patients, or the only option was the emergency room. So it's one thing, again, to have the data. It's the other thing to know how to act on it and what to do from there. And, stepping back from all of that, we get paid either by the client or we get paid by the carrier. In order to do these things, it's our job to, like you said, to make that business better. And that's why we're going to talk about things that have nothing to do with insurance. We're going to talk about our goofy list of things that was fun, but just what are things that are making a company improve? What are things that a CEO needs to think about that have nothing to do with insurance, but has to do with the overall health of the business? So,
healthcare has changed so dramatically in the last 2 years, and it's going to continue to change. And if all you're getting is a spreadsheet to help make those decisions, you are missing out on so much that's happening that's making, I believe, healthcare better. It's making it a little bit more efficient.
Absolutely.
We're trying to make it easier to navigate, which is still challenging from time to time, but there's so much you can be doing sitting in your role. Doesn't matter if you're CEO, CFO, HR assistant. I mean, things are changing at warp speed. So
no, it's a good summary, Chris. I think, it's best said that we're looking for employers that want to be better and employers that want someone who's going to partner with them to get them there. And whatever that looks like, it's different for every company, but that's why we have fun doing this.
Well, thank you to my brother-in-law for bringing this up because we didn't realize we were confusing people. So appreciate you.
Excellent. Good to talk with you, Chris.
All right. Thanks, my friend. We'll see you.